Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you clips of my ride with Snuffy today. I want to apologize in advance that the video quality is really horrible. I am trying to figure out how to make that better, and I think what I'm coming to is that I need to stop filming with my iPad. Because I'm borrowing a Pivo, and basically I think the iPad is so heavy that it kind of swings around and you get a lot of shakiness just from the iPad being a bit too heavy for the Pivo. So anyway, I apologize in advance. I did run the video through 2 different stabilizing software programs and it seemed to help, but it's still pretty bad, so just your forewarning. But anyway, on to the video. Snuffy, if you guys don't already know, is my mom's horse. We purchased him in 2015 as a track broke thoroughbred that had been sitting for 5 years, I believe. And he's just a really great horse. He's been a lesson horse for me part-time, and my mom also of course rides him, and just a really cool dude. But he has had his fair share of kind of health issues that we're trying to get a handle on. So anyway, he doesn't go as well as you would expect a horse that has been in my life since 2015. But this year we've really been focusing on trying to get him to go better, use himself better, and see if that also helps alleviate some of these kind of weird, mysterious health issues. So anyway, on to the video, and I'll kind of explain to you what I am working on and show you guys how he's doing. All right, let's jump right on in. Alright, so this first clip is some of our flat work. So I already warmed him up before this, but what I'm working on here is just asking him to go straight and use himself semi-correctly. As you can see, he's a huge curler, which is probably the hardest problem to fix in a horse. Basically what that means is his nose drops down behind the vertical, and some of that is because he's incredibly weak behind. So he tries to curl his nose under instead of really engaging his hind end. But he's fairly consistent through this video, and I'm actually pretty happy with this level of curling. I know it's pretty bad, but in the past he's been curling much worse. So here he's close to the vertical at least a majority of the time. So that is improvement. I'm happy with that. You might ask why I ride him on such a short rein, even though he does curl. And that is because I can't get him to go straight working on a long rein. So there might be a better way to approach this, but basically I spent a long time trying to work him on a long rein, working him in a stretch, and he basically just dropped his head on the ground, let his thoracic sling collapse, and wasn't using himself correctly at all. So I went ahead and gave up on that and just said, you know what, we'll work on a short rein and build up some strength and eventually be able to get into a stretch. So in this canter, you can see the same problem. I have my rein as short as I need it to keep telling him he has to start to sit behind and lift his shoulder. He does get over his back decently, and that's kind of my focus. I care less about his head, less about everything else, more about is he lifting his back at all. And in the canter he does a decent job of that. I would say he's much stronger in the walk and the canter than he is in the trot, which with such a crooked horse, that's not surprising. That lead change a little bit back was pretty sloppy, but it's Snuffy. He's known for sloppy changes. And here we see his little canter this way, and he's just a cute little guy. I mean, he's nothing super fancy, but he's just easy, which is really nice. Alright, so I also jumped Snuffy today, and I think the fences were somewhere between 2.5 and 2.7, but I forgot to measure them, and I am terrible at jump height, so that's my best guess. I could be wrong though. Our cups are on the meter system, so it doesn't quite translate to feet and inches that well, but anyway, that's about what they were. And I have not jumped Snuffy in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. It's been quite a while. I was working on really building his canter because he was quite weak in the canter. So now that his canter has gotten a lot better, I was excited to put him over fences again and just see where he was at. So that's basically what I was doing today, was I was just kind of checking in, seeing how his jumping was. I am taking him to a show in Paso Robles at the end of May, so I kind of need to decide what height I'm taking him at, so that was also the dual purpose of jumping him, just seeing how that was all going. And yeah, let's go ahead and watch the video. All right, so that jumping round, oh my. Definitely not jumping Snuffy for a while, caught up to me on that. And then those last 3 fences, I think I did the line to that white and hollow one. He just got really tired, so you could kind of hear me in the video clucking at him. I was trying to cluck to get him to keep going, and yet we still got really terrible spots, and yeah, nothing good from that. And then I think it was the orange fence. We got this crazy long distance, like, oh my word. Yeah, so definitely some work to do. My big takeaway from that was I think it just wasn't supporting him enough to get a consistent enough canter to get good distances to his fences. So in this second little jumping clip, I was trying to be a little more consistent with the spots, get a better plan, and trying to figure out a better spot for him to take off, because I felt like when I went a little shorter, he was clipping the rails, but a little longer ended up being like way too long, so he's kind of landing before he was over the fence. So I kind of played with that today, and let's go ahead and take a look at how our second little round of jumping went. All right, so the spots in that video were definitely much, much better. And sadly, even after that very short amount of jumping, that whole course, I felt like Snuffy was tired. So you could see I didn't even bother asking him for a flying change, which admittedly he's not very solid at anyway. I mean, he knows how to do them, but he likes to be lazy behind. So I just went ahead and asked for that simple change because I didn't want to push it. I knew he was tired. And then I thought we got a fine spot to that black standard, and yet he still got a pretty significant hit on that rail because I think, again, he was just getting fatigued. So clearly we need to work on building up, because I was hoping to do 1 or 2 classes a day at this show. So you can see that would be pretty pushing it, pretty optimistic if he doesn't get fitter. So we're gonna really focus on getting fitter, and then kind of playing with height a little bit, because I do think that Snuffy's gonna be a little more competitive in the bigger fences, because he does have quite a bit of scope. He just, again, fitness. These fences were not that high for him, even though he's been out of it for a little bit, but he definitely got tired quickly because of the height. So we're gonna play with all that, but yeah, I'm really excited for how he's coming along, and I'm excited I get to take you guys along on that journey. So I'm hoping that I'll kind of circle back to Snuffy again in another week or so, and kind of give you another update on how he's doing in another short little video. But if you have anything specific you'd like to see, go ahead and comment down below and let me know. I would love to make a video on it. I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.